Topology can be one of the most confusing things when it comes to learning how to make good low poly characters inside of Blender. So today I'm going to walk you through my exact rules that I use when creating my characters inside of Blender. Let's hop straight in. All right, so the first thing you have to talk about when making a character like this is the difference between the T pose and the A pose. So you can see here that a lot of game characters are actually going to be using something called a T pose. As by the name, it's basically just when your character is sat there in a T shape. So the difference can be between a T pose, and then you can also have, as I have in this character, where I literally just have the arms going straight down like that, which could be considered an A pose, but it's kind of in between. Well, it's like you have an A pose, which is probably more closer to something like that, where you have more of a, I don't know, they're in between, and then you obviously have them fully down or fully out. Okay, so if you are a person that's rigging and you have someone that wants you to do that, then I recommend you go with a T pose. That is probably the best option for doing that. But if you're trying to make the most natural, best looking character, in my opinion, then you should go for something like the A pose that I said before. Now, the reason is because the arm's range of motion starts roughly here. So this is your arm's range of motion, starts out, and the obviously can go all the way to like either in the middle, like if your body's not there, but it'll like go down to there. So that's your range of motion, is this angle. So in my mind, the best way to kind of set this up is to go put your arm in the middle. So that's why I do an A pose. So it's personal preference, but somewhere between an A pose and a T pose is probably best for you. Another reason I do that is because sometimes the T poses can end up looking quite unnatural, as you see in these images. Now, these are random people. I'm not saying their characters look bad, but it can easily look quite unnatural. So you see, this is something closer to what I would usually do when making my own personal characters. And if we actually look here at this mesh, another problem with that we see when it comes to having the arms so far down is that the topology over here is going to end with only one vertex over here. So when you raise the arm, if you wanted to make it look anywhere natural, then you're going to have no definition in the underarm. That's another reason why, if you're doing something like a T pose like this, then you need to actually add extra topology onto the shoulders. So if you're going to do it, then you should be ending up with a 6-sided hole like this. So you'll do like this, okay? So whatever, you know what I mean? And then from there, you should be having it go out like there. And then you can have some edges like this, whatever. And to do it correctly, you need to have these extra vertices over here so that when you go and bend your arm down, you have enough vertices to actually have that shoulder be a decent look. And that helps because then you actually have enough vertices in the armpit, but also this is when it's up, which is where it'll be most stretched. So you can make it look nice for that pose. Okay, so that is another reason why you shouldn't be doing this, where you extrude out and then you extrude down. And if you're watching a very old video or anything like that, you may see me do this, but this is something that I've learned over the years of trying to improve and trying to make better looking characters. Now, another thing that it comes to when it's making the arms, but it's also making the legs, basically anything that's going to be a limb or like your neck, your arms, your hips, etc. You're going to want to add more edge loops. Now, if I'm going to be working, say, same thing. So I would basically say when you're doing it, if you watch any of my other topology videos, you'll see we'll always add at least one extra edge, pretty close, kind of thing like this. That just gives me some extra vertices and it gives me some extra movement. So if you're doing something like bringing your arm forward, then you have those extra vertices to make have the extra detail, so it doesn't start collapsing or just be like when you bring in your arm forward, your arm doesn't just look like this kind of thing. You have that extra vertice so that you can kind of keep the shape and keep the volume of your actual character. By the way, if you are wanting to learn how to make low poly characters inside of Blender and want the full step-by-step guide, then go check the first link in the description to grab my low poly character course. Back to the video. And another thing similar to what we talked about over here is where you actually want to, instead of just taking your mesh like this and just extruding it down, you want to take this, and I've basically got this almost right, but instead of going down and then having an edge go across, you want to kind of take it where you have this sort of loop here. You could probably add another edge loop over here, so then it'll be there and then there kind of thing, and then you will go extrude down like this. That will create the center like hip piece. And then from there, you can extrude your vertices out for your leg. Okay, so you'll see something like this. Now, that is going to be a lot more useful because if you just take it directly from the center, then again, it's going to be similar thing to the armpit where you're not going to have enough vertices to correctly do it. And especially if you start raising the knee, then this area over here is going to be super stretched and not have any detail. So make sure you have that little gap over here. Doesn't matter how big it is. Obviously, actually, if you have the vertices too close to each other, then that's going to be when it makes it a nightmare to start weight painting and stuff like that. So being mindful also when you're doing these sort of things, if you have these vertices too close to each other, that can also cause other issues. And the same thing, I would say, so when I do that, I would also add another edge loop coming out of the edge right there, maybe something like that. And same thing for the arm. So I'd have an edge kind of like that. So same thing for the neck, actually. I'd also take this, also just give me enough edges to actually shape this up, but I'd go add one and I'd probably go add another one so that when you are doing your neck back and forth like that, you actually have enough vertices, because right now this doesn't have, it only has one face going up. So if you rotate the head, then this kind of volume is going to completely collapse. So I'd highly recommend you add extra edge loops to the neck. Right, now working our way down, we are going to talk about the actual joints. So the elbow, the knee, etc. And this is also going to be applied later to the fingers and anything like that if you have multiple fingers. But yeah, let's talk about firstly the knee and the arm, like the elbow. So here are a couple different explanations of the different ways to kind of solve different things. So essentially, if you only have, firstly, if you have one edge, then the main issue you're going to come across is when your arm is like this, and if it's like straight across like there, and then you have another edge going down. When you go bring it across, then it's going to do this, but when you do that, it's going to kind of do that and pinch in. So then you're going to kind of cause an issue like this where you're actually losing the volume of the elbow. So the way you want to fix this is by adding in extra edge loops. And you have two different ways of doing this. The simplest way you can do it, and if you just don't want any hassle, is just add 1-2 extra edge loops on this elbow. So just adding 2 will help. Doing a third may also help. And there's also different ways of doing it. So if you don't want to add too many extra edge loops, you can do stuff like this and this, which will basically, you can triangulate it. Same thing as over here. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. You see, adding a couple edge loops like that, because obviously you want to keep it kind of low poly. We don't want to add too many edges. And obviously the higher poly it goes, the more like detail you can go into this. But it could even just be just having a like piece going across and then just having like a triangle like that. So you just have that one in the front, but then that gives you that extra bit in the back to keep that volume. And you could also triangulate the front and just do like that sort of thing. Just doing that will be quite a lot in terms of getting like keeping that volume alive. Because when you do this, then this vertex is going to come out to like here and keep that volume when you keep it there. So a lot of these things I'm talking about, as you can see, it's just about keeping the volume and actually making sure that when we bend our character, that it all looks fine. Now, this is a little side tangent, but do you need to actually do this? And it's going to be completely up to you, because you can create a character like this, which is obviously very stylized, and you can see that it only has one edge. Now, if you do something like a PS1 character, or even with a low poly character, you just have to be aware of these issues, because then you can see and decide for yourself what you want to do with this. And remember, as you're working along, you can also test this out with your own base mesh. If you take a base mesh and rig it, then you can see how it's going to look and what kind of style you're going to go with. When I started out, I would have only had one edge loop, and you would have to decide if you're going to be fine with it. But there can also be other things you can do. You don't have to add like 5 edge loops over here. You don't have to add a bunch of triangles. You could also just add like one edge like that on the forearm, which could be enough to help it. You could just add, as I said, one triangle going across like that. And that could be enough to solve that issue for yourself. And also, this is something that people have asked before, but is triangles fine? For something like this, especially with low poly, 100%. So firstly, for a game engine, everything's going to be triangulated anyway. The whole reason that we use quads is because we want to have loops throughout our character. So you see here, like it's something like the leg, like we want to have loops going around like this. But for something like the arm, we don't actually need that, because like if we're adding some extra things over here, We just need to add it there. We still have all the loops going around it. We just want to have spiraling loops, which is something that can easily happen when you have triangles. And also when you add a triangle and add a subdivision on top of that, then that's when you create, basically, when you take it like here, if it's subdivided, it's going to do this, which means, again, if you subdivide it again, it's like this, that you're actually creating edges that will flow like here, and then it'll flow like here, and it'll flow like here. So this is going to be called, like, it's going to be going around and having it converge out and can create like things that you don't actually want to happen in your mesh. The easiest way to actually check this is by going into your face select and then selecting like Alt and left click on your edges. So if you do something like this, if you Alt left click here, it will select the whole edge. So just check that when you're making your character, that what you're doing is not actually creating a like spiraling loop. But overall, if you're making a mesh for a game, it's all going to be triangulated anyway. So the whole point of the good topology and having just the quads is the loops, is where everything's flowing. And so that if you want to add, again, if you want to add an edge loop in, like if we weren't doing a consistent like quad based mesh, then I wouldn't be able to add another edge down the front of here, which would be an issue if you wanted to make more, like add more vertices to the leg. So it's that sort of thing of, can you place the edges that you need to? And if you can't, then can you rework that section into having a quad so that it flows along? But if you don't even need to add any more edge loops, then you can be fine. I hope you learned a lot and you'll start implementing this and making your characters better. And if you'll learn how to make your own low poly character from scratch, then click this video right here.